Hi, I'm going to show you how I made the Algolia MCP server run in a Docker container. This is the front end for MCP client for the Algolia MCP server. I got this client by forking this repo, Permananda 108 Algolia chat. And I embedded the Algolia MCP server in the client project by cloning this project. Algolia MCP node. So how this client works is that you can enter your question here in natural language, and it provides some examples. So I'll just use this one, show me all my applications. Now I have the client and the Algolia MCP server running in this Docker container here, which has port 8000 map because the client is a fast API app running on port 8000 through Unicorn. So by exposing the port, I can access it from my local host here. So let's send this question in. Show me all my applications. And the answer is this application, which is the application I have in my Algolia account. And when we look at the logs here, you see that the client called this tool from the MCP server, get applications, and the tool returned this response, which is shown in the front end of the client. Now the Algolia MCP server, how it's set up for use is you're supposed to run it on your desktop, and that's for example, it recommends using Claude Desktop here, registering the Algolia MCP server in Claude Desktop, and it needs the desktop because for authenticating to your Algolia account, it needs to redirect to the browser, and in the browser, sign into your Algolia account so it can get an access token for the MCP server to call the Algolia backend. So what I did to not require the desktop environment for running the MCP server is that I created this Docker file. So in the Docker file, first I install and the MCP node project, which I cloned into the client project. And since this MCP node project uses NVM, I install NVM, and then I use NVM to get the proper version of node that the server project expects. So that's straightforward. And then I have to run this startup script. In the startup script, I handle the authentication, which so that you won't require a desktop environment to run the server. And the key to this is that the MCP server, it uses this state.json file to store access token, refresh token, and API keys. In this startup script, what I do is I get the refresh token and the API key and the application ID from my .env file. I'm going to show you a sample, the example.env here. So you see, you need to define these, and so that in the startup script, it's going to use those environment variables to populate and the state.json file, which you can see in the Docker container. Go to the files under the root directory, because the Docker container is running under the root user. So you need to put the MCP, Algolia MCP directory with the state.json under the root. So here's the state.json, which is created by the startup script. Now, how do you get this refresh token? I have comments here explaining how. So you cd to the MCP node project, which is the Algolia MCP Server, and you run npm run authenticate. So this is gonna redirect to your browser to get a new refresh token and access token and put it in your local state.json file. I'm currently on Windows, so it's gonna put the state.json file in my Windows user profile directory here, and in the Algolia-MCP directory. So you just have to go to the state.json file, which has the same JSON format as what I created in the startup script, and you just grab the refresh token value and you stick it into your .env file. So you stick it in here, and then also you can get your application ID from your Algolia account, in the browser, right? Application ID that you want to use, and your API key. Now, this API key, when you run the npm run authenticate in MCP node, it's going to create a new API key for the MCP server in your account. So you can just go to API keys and grab the API key that Algolia created for you for the MCP server and stick it here. So basically, now once the state.json file is created in the Docker container here, this file here, then every time you start the Docker container, it's gonna use the credentials there to get a new access token and refresh token. So for example, now this container is running. I'll just restart it. So restart it. You'll see these logs that these logs are coming from the startup script. This script here. And you can see since it found the state.json file, it's going to check for the refresh token, and it's going to try using the refresh token from the existing state.json. You see here, here's the log, right? Found existing state.json, checking for refresh token, right? And it tries to use the existing refresh token. So here it runs this Node.js code to try to use the existing refresh token. And if that code doesn't work, then it's gonna tell you to that you need to update the refresh token in your .env. But in this case, the refresh token is still valid. As you can see here, it successfully refreshed tokens. So that refresh token is still valid, and then updates the state.json with the new access token and the refresh token. So this happens every time your container starts. So as long as the initial refresh token is valid, which you got uh, from your local state.json file, then the authentication will always work because the access token is going to be expired in the MCP server. And once it expires, the MCP server is just going to use the refresh token from state.json to get a new access token. So that means now the MCP server can run in a headless environment. The only thing you need to take care of is whenever you build a new Docker image, or you make some change to your project, and you need to build a new Docker image, you need to make sure that the refresh token here is valid, which you'll get from your local state.json file by authenticating locally. And once this is valid, then after you deploy your image, like to Google Cloud Run or to AWS App Runner or in any other cloud environment, you'll be able to run the MCP server with no problem, and it will handle the regeneration of the access token automatically. So I think that's a wrap on my explanation of how I made the Algolia MCP server run in a Docker container. Thanks.